Hello, folks. It's Annie at the Keto Way. Just doing an update, a progress report, just to let you know how I'm doing. Well, I'm 25 pounds down on my keto diet, and I am just ecstatic. This is the best thing since sliced bread for me. Um, I can get on clothes that I could not get on. Um, some of my underwear I can't even wear. Sorry for you men that are out there listening to this. I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm just letting you know I'm just happy. I'm very happy. Happier than proverbial pig in the poo. I really am. I really am. I am so glad that God pointed me to this ketogenic diet. It's working for me. And as well, I'm only eating one meal a day. If I do have a snack, it's a handful of almonds or walnuts, maybe a dill pickle, a piece of cheese, a slice of cheese, a slice of, brick cheese. That's it if I have a snack. And that's a rare thing. I am not hungry. Uh, I eat when I'm hungry, and I usually eat about 9:30 every night, between 9:30 and 10:30. That fits into my schedule because I'm a night owl. I like to stay up at night, and that's what I do. So, I started out initially a year ago. I started out by calorie counting and reducing the number of carbs a bit. But I was still eating breads and pastas and rice and potatoes. I was eating all the starches and sugars. And I lost an initial 30 pounds. I started out at 321 pounds on a 5-foot frame. I was miserable. I mean, miserable. Um, Anybody out there who can't empathize with that, I'm sorry for you. You've probably never had a weight problem. But I would urge you, just try going out and putting a 300-pound sack of potatoes on your back and carry that around. If you weigh 90 pounds, if you weigh 100 pounds, try a 200-pound sack of potatoes. Throw that on your back and try and carry that around all day, 24/7, every day. Now, I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm not. I got myself in that boat. I did. That and genetics and metabolism and a lifestyle of eating poorly, not being raised to eat right foods. My mother, God bless her, she's gone on many years ago. She passed when I was a kid. She tried to get me to eat right things. She tried to get me to eat vegetables, but I wouldn't. I hated vegetables when I was a kid. The only thing I liked was corn. Oh, I was a kid. I must have been terrible trying to get me to eat anything that was good for me. Um, I was raised in a family that owned a restaurant, and it was all like fast food type deals. Um, yes, they had bacon and eggs and things like that, and they had soup, and they had, like my mother would make her homemade chili, homemade soups. Um, but it also was like fried foods, French fries, um, hot dogs, hamburgers. Best hamburgers in Brantford, Ontario. McLennan's. I don't know if anybody out there remembers McLennan's. If you're from Brantford or the Brantford area, McLennan's. My parents owned McLennan's there on, what street is that? Park Ave and Murray. My uncle owned the one on Colburn Street. Initially, it was my grandfather and my uncle. And then my grandpa, he got too old and he gave it to my mom and dad to run. And they ran it for many years until my dad passed away, just before my dad passed away. Um, Best hamburgers ever in the world, homemade burgers. Anyway, I was raised on that. I was raised on Sunday dinners, roast beef dinners, and every meal there had to be a dessert of some sort because my dad wanted it. So, needless to say, we were all overweight. My mom was overweight, not terribly overweight, but she was overweight, not obese. But my dad was obese, and I started being number one. I had asthma when I was little, so I don't know what kind of medications they had me on, but who knows? I had bad asthma, and I started getting. I was really sick, and I always had ear infections right up until I was in my mid-20s. I was always on antibiotics, so my gut health was not the best. That's something that I'm going to get on is probiotics. Anyway, again, just a brief synopsis of my life story. And anyway, that's how I was raised. Seconds, thirds, if you wanted to eat more, that's fine. Always out, driving around. We'd stop for an ice cream cone, things like that. We just ate whatever and ate poorly. Wasn't a healthy thing, and no exercise. Well, I was a kid that liked to be outside. I was outside all the time, skating, tobogganing. I think if I didn't do that, I would have been really bad off, because I was chubby, but I wasn't obese. I was chubby as a child. I could, one day maybe I'll just show you some pictures. I'll find those pictures and dig them out, and I'll show you the pictures of me. I listened to Cooking Keto with Christy, excuse me, and her YouTube channel, and her testimony is very similar to mine of how she was chubby all the time when she was a kid, and she had gastric bypass like I did when I was 24. I had my stomach stapled, gastric bypass, and they bypass your intestine into the pouch, which has led to a lot of different issues now for me. I would never recommend that surgery to anyone, not anyone. It's not a good surgery. It has a lot of after effects years later, especially with your digestive system, your bowels, and things like that. So it's not a way to go. You have to learn how to eat correctly, to eat rightly, to take care of yourself, to exercise, to eat nutritiously. You can eat nutritiously. Like with this ketogenic diet, I eat nutritiously. I follow like the 20 carb a day. I'm telling you, I don't count my macros. I just kind of eye it, to tell you the truth. I figure out, because I have a carb chart that tells you how much carbs are in each and how much I'm eating. I'm not starving, I'll have to say that, and I'm still losing. I lost 5 pounds this week. So I was 20 pounds down, now I'm 25 pounds. I'm at 266. I started out initially with the keto diet on August the 6th, and I started out at 291. I am now 266, and I'm thrilled. Initially, when I started with the caloric counting about a year ago, I started initially at 321 and lost 30 pounds and stuck at 290, around that. Went up and down between 295 and 291 for quite a few months, quite a while. And then my doctor, they diagnosed me with severe fatty liver disease, said to me, basically, you're going to die if you don't do something about it. Well, it was like somebody sticking a pin in me. I thought, yeah, what's the matter with you? You're going to die if you don't. You're either going to die from that, or you're going to die from a heart attack or a stroke because you're type 2 diabetic and you're on insulin. Insulin, it just destroys your body. It does. I wanted off of all of it. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm on very little insulin now. Very little. I don't take the oral medication that they gave the oral insulin, the Invocana. I don't take it at all. I don't take the Easytrol for cholesterol because I'm feeling very good. My blood sugars are in the normal control range. Right now they're ranging between 7 and 8, 8.5. It's been the highest I've had in the last week. It was 8.3. That's the highest. So it's staying in the control range, which I'm happy about. And that's on very little insulin. I take my long-acting insulin every other day. And I take my one that's a short-acting insulin, I take that with every meal, according to the carb count, which is not much that I take. Very little. Compared to what I was taking, I'm taking very, very little. And they're in control. And that's because I'm not eating sugars, nor am I eating gluten. I don't eat any breads or any starches at all. No sugar in my diet. Now, I do use stevia in my coffee, and I use whipping cream in my coffee. I haven't tried a bulletproof coffee. I'm trying to kind of avoid that too much, especially because I'm on like a one meal a day. I might have a snack, but like I said, that's a rare thing. Unless I'm actually feeling a little bit hungry, then I'll have maybe a pickle or a slice of cheese. Like not all at once. I have a pickle or a slice of cheese or a handful of almonds, which is probably about 8 to 10 almonds. That's what I have. Or walnuts. A few walnuts. My husband bought some and I thought, oh great, some nuts, because I do like nuts and I like the protein. So that's it, and I'm usually, that's a very rare thing for me to be hungry in between my fasting. So really, literally, I'm fasting from 10 o'clock at night until the next night at 10 o'clock. I break my fast and have my dinner. It's working for me, obviously. I believe that I'm fat adapted now. I was having a lot of problems with my bowels. I found it, I use activated charcoal. It does help with your digestion. It does absorb any toxins or anything like that, but you can't take it when you take your medication. You have to wait an hour to 2 hours before you take the activated charcoal. It's made from coconut shells. I got it at natural food store, natural supplement store. So you can get that if you're having a problem with that, which can happen before you become fat adapted with a ketogenic. From what I understand, it can take up to 6 weeks. And it's been 7 weeks now, and I'm finding that it's starting to get a lot better. This week has been really good when it comes to intestinal issues. I haven't had very many. You're eating a lot of vegetables, so yeah, you're gonna have, issues there anyway, because you're eating a lot of vegetables. But you know what? I'm finding I love my vegetables. I love them. I make because you can eat a lot of high good fats. I'm making tonight. I'll make what I call it, buffalo chicken, which is chicken thighs, and I'll do them with like a sauce that I use, and it's olive oil and some spices and a hot sauce that I have called Omama. Make sure your sauces don't have any sugar in it. Make sure there's no sugar, no gluten when you buy your sauces, so you have to check the label when you buy them. I use something called Oh Mama, and it's really good. It's a really good sauce. So we use that, and I just brush it onto the chicken and cook it in the oven for about an hour, and oh, delicious. They're really good. And those you can save even if you cook a whole lot. I'm starting to learn from people about meal prepping, how you can do certain meals. Maybe while you're cooking that meal, you can prep another meal and have it in the fridge. My problem is I have a tiny, tiny, tiny kitchen, and I don't have the room to do all the meal prepping, so it's a little harder for me. And plus, we're on a pretty strict budget here, so we have to watch our budget. But I'm learning about this, so in the future, if we move to a larger place, I have more room. I can do a lot of the meal prepping and freeze some of the stuff and have it there ready to go. A lot of great recipes. I've found some great recipes online for ketogenic meals. Some I've tried. Most of them, I have to say, there's only one that I tried that I didn't like. All of them that I've tried have been really good. There's one I found for a bacon ranch chicken casserole. Delicious. So there's things out there that you can eat, and you're not starving, and the food is delicious. Not only that, you're eating a lot of high in fats, so you're not you're satiated. You're not hungry because you're eating this high fat but good fats meal, you're eating a lot of saturated fats. You're not eating the trans fats. So the saturated fats are like coconut oil, cold pressed pure virgin olive oil, avocado oil, MCT oil. I don't have that. I haven't gotten any yet, which is a derivative of coconut oil. It's very good for you, but it also helps. It can be a laxative too, so you got to be careful with that when you take it. From what I understand, I haven't taken it yet. I haven't bought any yet. Bought some almond flour. I have coconut flour. I have the erythritol. I bought some erythritol. So I'm going to try baking. I'm going to make, Thanksgiving is coming up for us here in Canada next weekend. So I'm going to try making maybe some keto brownies, something like that, with some whipped cream. Some keto whipped cream, which is just whipped cream and some erythritol. Just, like you always make whipped cream, because I have the heavy cream and the whipped cream here. So I can use that. But something different for us for Thanksgiving. So now what I'm trying to find now is some recipes for a ketogenic Thanksgiving turkey dinner. No stuffing, of course, no bread, and lots of vegetable sides. Instead of having squash, or instead of having, potatoes or sweet potatoes or anything like that, just something really good, some tasty side dishes. I am going to cook some turnip and have turnip, and I can use the erythritol. I like mashed turnip, and so does my husband, with butter and erythritol in it, and mash it up. I'll make that, but I'm going to make a couple other sides with it. I'm going to make my own cranberries. I'm going to cook up the cranberries with a little bit of erythritol, and it'll be delicious. They'll be delicious. They'll be fine. So we're still going to have cranberries, just no gravy. I'm not making gravy. I could use the psyllium husk powder and make a gravy. We'll see. I have to learn how to do that. I haven't done that with psyllium powder. I always use flour or cornstarch in the past. But I've never used psyllium husk powder. I'll have to try and see. I'll look online and see what I can find. We do some research on it before next weekend. So to all Canadians out there, my fellow Canadians, happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful, be grateful for everything we have. Pray for our country. All you out there who here are in my hearing, please pray for our country. We need your prayers. We've got a lot of bad things happening in our country with our government right now, and doing a lot of terrible things. There's an election not until next October year, but a lot of terrible things can happen in this country. We have a full communist man in the parliament. Trudeau is a communist, and he loves the communist ways. He is a despot. He is a despot. So I ask for your prayers for my country, and we need them. Fellow countrymen, please pray for our country as well, that God will just open up his heart and just pour a blessing out on us, and forgive us for our wicked ways here. Anyway, I just want to thank you for watching my videos, and I want to thank you for your prayers for me. I'm doing fantastically. I thank you. Leave your comments. Please like and subscribe. I would really enjoy it if you'd leave me comments and let me know your journey, what's going on with you. Let me know if you have a channel, and I'll watch your channel. And Jim, you're out there. I haven't had a chance. I've been so busy. I'm so sorry. I don't get a chance to get on there and watch too many. But I'd like to watch your videos, because I see the journey that you took. And it was fantastic, and you look fantastic, and you're doing so great. I think you're just doing wonderful. So God bless you, Jim. And any of you that have some comments, please leave them. I'd like to hear your comments. Also, like and subscribe. That helps me a lot. That really would help me with YouTube, because eventually, maybe we're probably going to monetize these channels. Like my husband and I, he has channels, I have channels. Check out my husband's channel. He has Armchair Preacher. That's his channel, and he does some really good teachings. You may not always agree with him, but I know that he's preaching the truth. So for those of you who love the truth, listen to my husband on Armchair Preacher. A little shout out to him. And thank you for all your support while I'm going through this process. It's going to be a long one. It's going to take me a while to get the weight off, but I'm feeling like 150% better. I'm telling you, my energy levels are really going up. I'm feeling like I can get more accomplished because I'm feeling better. See, I have to also deal with fibromyalgia, and I'm finding the inflammation that you get from the fibromyalgia is not near as bad since I've been doing the ketogenic diet at all. I mean, I don't find I have the pain like I had before. So for anyone out there that has fibromyalgia, you might want to try the keto way, because getting rid of all the gluten, getting rid of all the starchy, sugary foods, I think that's the way to go with that, because if it'll help, I know that people with fibromyalgia suffer. I'm going to cry because I know you're out there and I know you're suffering because you have fibromyalgia. I know the suffering that you go through because I've had it. I got diagnosed in 1998 and I have it. Sometimes there's nothing you can do but stay in bed. I know that. And I know that it takes effort to get out of bed at times. And it takes effort. Sometimes you feel like you're walking through mud to have to do everything, to deal with the fatigue and with the pain. When you can't even hug somebody without saying, "Oh, don't, you're hugging too tight." I know. I'm telling you, it's a lot of it has to do with our intake, what we take in and put in our bodies. A lot of the processed foods are killing us. Try the ketogenic diet if you can. If you are on a strict budget, you could still do it. I know a lot of people say, well, you got to have grass-fed meat and organic or eggs and all of those things. We don't have the budget to do that, so I'm using just regular store-bought eggs and store-bought meats and things like that, and I'm still losing weight and I'm still feeling better. So you can feel better. My friends out there with fibromyalgia, give it a try. What have you got to lose except a few pounds maybe, and some of the pain that you're in? I know the pain. I do. I've suffered with it for years myself, and this is the first time since 1998 that I can get up in the morning and have no pain in my body. How about that? How about that? Now, that's me, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it has to do with this diet. Prayer, too. I pray a lot. Ask God. I've asked Him for a long time to heal me. And I believe this is His way of healing me. He had to get me to this place where I just said, this is it. Enough is enough. Sometimes that happens because I'll tell you, I love my food. I was addicted to my food. Remember that song? Oh, food, glorious food. Well, that was my theme song. That was my theme song from Ice Age. Yes, cute movies. I remember laughing with my friend on the phone and saying that. I was singing that song, Food. I sent her that YouTube video, them singing that song, Food, Glorious Food. Well, that was my thing. I love food. I'm a foodie, actually. I like watching all the food channels and the recipes, and I do like to taste it, but you know something I've found since being even on this diet? Food tastes better since I got off all the sugar, the gluten, everything. Food tastes better. Fruit. If I eat strawberries or blackberries or blueberries, or I'm not a big blueberry fan raw, but blackberries, raspberries, oh, they taste delicious. Wow. And even to eat broccoli or cauliflower, things I'd never liked. Delicious. Now, I have to say one thing. I really tout avocado on this diet. Now, I buy avocado. I use it in things. Because just to eat avocado on its own, you want the truth? Bleh. Avocado has no taste. No taste whatsoever. Guacamole is delicious. It's great. It's to die for. I love guacamole. But avocado on its own is just a blah fruit. It is a fruit. It's blah. I don't particularly like the texture of it, but it's good in a salad. It's good, my husband puts it in his rice. He eats rice. I don't. It's good if you want to put it on a burger or you want to put it, in something. It picks up, it's like tofu. Picks up the flavor. Kind of, it kind of adds to it, and you're getting the fats. That's the good thing. Because it's a great fat, and it's good for you. It's omega-3. That's why they tout it, because it's high in omega-3s. So I eat it because of that. It's high in omega-3 content, high in fat. The more fat I can add to my meals, good fats, I add it. Because it's the fat that burns fat. And believe me, it's working. Because I am not hungry. I tell you, I am not hungry. It works. And you could knock me over with a feather if you told me that fat burns fat. Yeah, right. Well, it works. It does. So, to all you with fibromyalgia, I would recommend this diet for you. You don't have to cut the carbs way back like I do. If you don't need to lose weight, you can just cut your carbs back somewhat. But I would recommend cutting out all the sugars in your diet. Every bit of sugar. Start using maybe stevia or erythritol or something like that. A blend of the two. Swerve is another one you can get. And use that in your coffee or your tea instead. If you like sweet coffee or tea, use that. Cut back on your gluten intake. Gluten causes inflammation. So you can cut your breads out. There's keto bread out there. You can make keto bread and rolls and buns and all kinds of things. Just get yourself some almond flour, xanthan gum, some erythritol. You can make, if you like goodies, there's baked goods that you can make. There's tasty fat bombs that you can make. I'm going to try that. Once I get more weight off, I'm going to try some fat bombs and see how they are. Maybe some bulletproof coffee. Speaking of coffee, have a sip. Look at my coffee. Yeah, there's all kinds of things, and I would recommend it for anybody who has fibromyalgia because it really has helped me with inflammation. I don't have the pain like I used to have. And I'm noticing I'm starting to see these things again. I'm starting to get rid of this. And these are going to go, the gels I have. So I noticed that my face has lost some off of it. You can start to see my dimple. I have one dimple on that side of my face. And when I smile, you can see it. I want to be a pretty woman again. I don't feel like a pretty woman when I've got all this weight on. And I know I have looks. I'm pretty. I've been pretty all my life. Pretty girl. But I want to be that again. I'm going to go get myself a haircut. Once I get below 200, that's my reward, is getting it cut and colored. I found a good haircut, and I might show it to you if I can print it out. I don't think I can, though. I don't have the color ink in my printer right now. So if I get some colored ink, I'll print it out and show you the cut that I chose. It's kind of an asymmetrical cut. It's short. Probably just below here. Kind of comes down here. A little shorter on this side. Comes over like this. Beautiful cut. Kind of hides the... Right now, I might not want that once I get the weight up, but we'll see. But I found something I like and a color that I like. I tended to go with my hair blonde, but I bought my own colors and done my own. So this time I'm going to get a professional done with lowlights and highlights in it. So it looks more natural. It looks pretty. Yeah, I'm going to treat myself. You know, I really think that I deserve it after all these years. I'm working hard to get this weight off. I'm starting to walk again, and it doesn't kill me to walk. It used to kill me. I mean, literally, I was like dragging through mud trying to walk. And I would be like, wheezing. No, that's not happening. Now, I did go to the eye doctor's last week, or the week before, and got my eyes checked. I need new glasses, but I had to walk from our bus terminal to the doctor's office, which is about, I'd say about 7 blocks, maybe 6. And oh boy, my legs. I noticed my legs are weak, and that's because I haven't walked enough. My legs have gotten weak now. So I'm starting to walk, and I'm feeling better, and I'm doing better. Taking that energy and putting it into something, and I'm doing fantastic. So I just want to thank you all for your support. Like I said, like and subscribe, please. That will help me. And please leave your comments. I want to hear from you. I want to know, what's your journey like? Where are you going right now? Are you on a ketogenic diet? Are you following the keto way? That's what I call this, the keto way. Because I'll tell you, this is the only way for me, and it's going to be this way for the rest of my life. I love it. It works. It's just so natural. It fits into my life so naturally. I may have to change some of the foods, and I have to prepare a little more when I cook, but it's making me a good cook. I was a good cook before, but I'm an even better cook now. So hey, and all the way around, it's blessed me. It really has. And I'm so thankful to God for my doctor who pointed me to Dr. Jason Fung, a nephrologist in Toronto, who has written 3 books. The Diabetes Code. Well, the first one was the Obesity Code, the Diabetes Code, and a Complete Guide to Intermittent Fasting. I would urge you to go to look him up on YouTube, Dr. Jason Fung. You might find him through The Diet Doctor. He has all kinds of videos. The other doctor I listen to is Dr. Eric Berg. He's a naturopath, and he's great. Gives you lots of good information about the ketogenic diet and low carbs. And, gives you the ins and outs of glucose and your blood sugars. I listen to sometimes Tommy DeLauer, who's also a personal trainer, who's an expert in nutrition. Sometimes it's a little medical, like it's almost too medical. He's going into all these different medical terms, and for anybody that's not in the medical, if you're not in that kind of a physician or something like that, you're not going to understand him. You're not going to understand a lot of what he's talking about. It actually finds it, to me, after a little while, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm tired of this. I don't think I want to listen to this anymore. But he does have some good videos. He is a nutrition expert, and he is also I think he's a doctor of physiology. I don't know. He's got some kind of education that is, high up there, and he's a personal trainer. So he's really good too. But there's lots of people, lots of recipes. Cooking Keto with Christy, if you want some really great recipes and you want to listen to her testimony. She also has a 28-day plan for those of you that want to start out as a beginner, and you can actually download that off of her website, I believe, and you can get that. You can download the printout, and you can start a 28-day plan with her. Go through the videos with her. She'll help you. The Diet Doctor has a grocery list and a 2-week beginner's plan. free. You can download off of their website as well. So for any of you that are thinking about doing this, get up and do it. Don't say, well, I'll do that maybe next week, maybe tomorrow, maybe 2 weeks from now. No, do it now. Don't put it off for your own benefit. I'm not saying this just to push you. I'm saying it to encourage you. Do it now. Don't put it off. Do not put it off. Enjoy your last meals. And then if you want to have a nice meal of that, whatever you want. But enjoy it, because realize this is something you're going to have to do for the rest of your life if you want to be well. It's for your wellness that I'm saying this. So I just want to say God bless you. And I hope and pray you'll follow the keto way. This is Annie signing off for now. And have a great week. And I'll talk to you next week. God bless. Bye-bye.